Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are watching another Honkai Chronicles video about Kiana. Finally, we have already seen like a little bit of like Kiana's past, which is kind of confusing because Kiana is not actually Kiana, and yeah, someone said like Kiana, the real Kiana is missing. So I'm kind of excited to see what the explanation is here. Usually the Honkai Chronicles help me a little bit to like better understand the in-game scenes and what is happening, because like connecting the mangas which I have read long ago and like what happened in the story, we are always like coming back to the second eruption, so maybe I should reread that. I will see. Let me know in the comments down below if I should read Otto's like mangas again, where he was like experimenting and Cullen found out and stuff like that before I head into his chapters. And I also need to check out a little bit more about the Elysian Realm. We have two concept trailers about the Elysian Realm. But yeah, we are here for Kiana today. I hope you're interested. As always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video. And I would say we will head into this right now. I am very excited. Let's go.
A few years after the second eruption in 2000, a girl came into this imperfect world in an experiment pod.
Wouldn't it be, sorry for pausing that early, but sometimes I think it would be better to like watch these videos before actually playing the chapter, because I recently uploaded like chapter 25 and I was like so confused about the timeline in which like Kiana, like the K423, I think her number was, produced. Or created, and like when the real and like the timeline between like her creation and like the real Kiana being there, seeing her, and then vanishing, disappearing wherever she might be. And I don't know, I'm just like sometimes I'm getting so confused, and I wonder if it would be like better to watch this before I start the chapter, because I think it would be like clearer to understand like what's going on in the chapters. I was so confused about this one part.
She had no name, only a cold serial number, K423. K423 was created by Otto via splicing Kiana Kaslana's genes and
Okay.
that from Siren, the Herrscher of the Void, together. The Herrscher core attained consciousness in the new body, and she was expected to become a human with Herrscher powers.
Okay.
In 2007, Siegfried Kaslana attempted to abduct K423 in secret, but was
Why?
intercepted by Schicksal in his escape.
Sorry for pausing again, but why? Because he knew that she looked like his daughter. And did they especially like took a Kaslana daughter because of like Cullen? Was that like Otto's purpose to like create someone that looks like Cullen but is stronger because of the Herrscher core? So it actually is like the same with like Fuhua, where he like planted a Herrscher in her consciousness, right? Or like in her body to like become a human that is controlling a Herrscher core.
His biological daughter went missing afterward. Siegfried adopted K423 and raised her as his own, but was unwilling to name her after his own daughter.
But okay, sorry, I have so many questions. But where did she end up? Why did she vanish? Okay,
That
maybe
was
we will
until
get
one
to it.
day, to protect the injured Siegfried, K423 took up arms to confront a Honkai beast in his place. The tender soul defied fate for the first
Wait,
time
wasn't that a
in order
manga
to
as
protect her loved
well?
one. Touched by her action, Siegfried decided to name her Kiana Kaslana. He made a promise to her. As the descendants of House Kaslana, it was an honored tradition for them to fight for their loved ones. On this day, the girl received her name from her father, and she set foot on a path deviating from
I
her
think she
written
was
fate.
4 years old, right, at this point?
However, fate had other plans. In 2010, the latent Herrscher persona awoke. Blazes of anger scorched the world that had just opened up to her. To protect Kiana, Siegfried used Judgment of Shamash to suppress the Herrscher of the Void. But as a result, he was severely injured. Siegfried realized that he would inevitably rouse the Herrscher persona again. To protect Kiana, he left her. The girl was worthy of love. Those who loved her could do anything for her. But in the girl's eyes, it was her very existence that brought them endless sufferings and miseries. Nevertheless,
So, sorry for pausing again. So, Siegfried went away because he knew that he would trigger Siren, right? Because he already knew Siren.
she
Okay.
did not forget the promise with her father and continued to believe in the good of the world.
Mm.
In the Honkai-stricken Nagazora, when Raiden Mei, who had become the Herrscher of Thunder, turned against her, Kiana still reached out to her. When they were fleeing Nagazora, Himeko rescued Kiana and Mei
Ugh,
and took them to Saint
God.
Freya. Kiana's troubled fate was finally calmed for a brief moment.
Mm.
On the campus, she met friends who were like family and
Cute.
made the solemn vow to fight for all that is beautiful in the world.
Is
She
this video
wanted to
making me
stay.
sad again?
But a cruel twist would soon break her hopes.
Mm. Oh god, the music. This game is
Dark
always
seeds
making me
germinated
sad.
in the shadow of the peaceful
You know, and the fun thing is, sorry for pausing and talking so much, but the fun thing is that I forgot what I wanted to say. I don't know, I
years.
forgot.
The other sentience inside her preyed on all the good in her life once more by encroaching on her cognition and her dreams.
Mm.
It was Kiana's pining for a mother's love that made her awakening possible. She created illusions to make Kiana believe
Is
she
that
saved her
because
mother
Siren
from
like wanted a
sacrificing
mother as
herself
well?
to end the
Or
second
like her
eruption.
mother?
When she realized the great joy she experienced was elusive, she broke down and let the Herrscher persona take over. Being taken to the Schicksal HQ by Fu Hua, she was confined in the same bleak experiment pod, just as when she was born. Only this
Crazy.
time, Otto, who witnessed her rebirth, wished to see the Herrscher of the Void return.
Why?
Just as Otto expected, the Saint Freya group revolted and attacked the Schicksal HQ with anti-entropy to rescue Kiana.
I'm wondering
In
if
fact,
he's
he
doing
wanted them
all...
to gamble everything for Kiana.
Why?
Their deep love and the ensuing sacrifices would stimulate Kiana's emotions to help her overcome the Herrscher persona.
Oh, so she
So she
can...
could-
Oh, okay. So she could become human with Herrscher powers. So it is really hard for me because sometimes like all of these chapters are like leading to me thinking that Otto did like plan all of this to like get control over Honkai and create people to defeat the Honkai, because if we are able to control the Herrscher powers, we don't need to be afraid that much of Herrschers, right? Because we have like sort of like a small army like the Valkyries already are, but like more powerful than the Valkyries themselves to like defeat Honkai. I'm not trying to say I kind of like switch my perspective to like liking Otto, but I kind of think he had like maybe he's not that selfish as I think he is, and he's not all doing this because of Cullen. I mean, I think a major part of him is like doing this for Cullen, but I think he might be doing this to like get to the imaginary tree and end it all. But I guess we will experience like more of his story in the upcoming chapters, right?
could become a human with Herrscher powers. The Herrscher of the Void achieved complete awakening and pulverized Saint Freya and anti-entropy in a
Chapter
display
8
of
and
power.
9.
In the end, to save Kiana, Himeko donned the Godsbane battle suit for Million Night.
Why are we
Eclipse.
always recalling that scene?
She
They are
defeated
always
Herrscher
bringing
of the
that
Void
up.
and
I
injected
don't want
the
to
Spear
see it
of Destiny,
again.
a Honkai neutralizing serum, into Kiana at the expense of her life. Himeko fell into the imaginary space.
She's alive. Probably not, but I want to think that she's alive, okay?
Kiana might be a Herrscher, but her friends and teachers still loved her and believed in her as much. Yet their goodwill was too heavy to bear. Kiana wandered in Ark City after waking up from the nightmare. Honkai beasts and zombies hunted her. The whispers of the Herrscher tortured her. She wanted to run, but had nowhere to run. Those pains and sufferings are predestined. She was test subject K423.
I think that was chapter 11 EX,
and the root cause
right?
of the world's and her loved ones' miseries. Would the world be a better place had she died?
It was a sad chapter.
When Kiana was prepared to die with the Herrscher inside, Fuha's sentience in her mind stopped her and the Herrscher from reviving. Kiana finally remembered that Himeko sacrificed herself to save her because, as her teacher, Himeko believed in her potential to change the world. Kiana snapped out of grief and loss. To repay Himeko's faith, she will continue fighting her ill fate.
I'm about to cry. I don't like that we're always going like back and forth to like the part where Himeko sacrificed herself. I think that's a major part of like Kiana's character development and everything that came after, right? But it's like so hard to like see it all over again. Why is it so bright? I'm sorry,
With
we need to
Fuha's
go
help,
back. And yeah, it's just insane how much of an emotional roller coaster this game is, because we are going from like the introduction of the game where we are kind of defeating Honkai, but we have like a more like, I don't know, chill attitude about it, right? And then everything just goes like south, and we're just having to fight these like major threats in the world, and Kiana became one herself, and she had to deal with so many emotions that we usually in real life like put somewhere else, because I think like in real life like negative emotions are like portrayed so badly that we are just trying to keep them in a box far away from the surface. We don't really know how to handle them, but I think like this game portrays like negative emotions, grief, loss, despair, fighting for something so well that you can actually learn how to like deal with all of these emotions, because sometimes we like get stuck with these negative emotions and we don't know how to handle them. And I think like the game shows so much of like how you can overcome and like how you just push through and move forward. And I really like this about this game. So for me, like the best games are always the emotional ones that like break me inside, because it's just different. A game that emotionally touches you a lot stays in your memories more than just happy. So it's like always these emotional moments that keep us playing, right?
Kiana learned how to contain the Herrscher persona and utilize Herrscher powers. She became a rogue hero that fought to save Ark City from destruction. Kiana discovered that the Honkai disasters plaguing Ark City were not related to the Herrscher of the Void. They were the work of a shady organization known as the
Shady
World
one.
Serpent. All traces pointed to a dreadful ploy, Project Stigma. The catastrophe caused by it would level
I
Ark
do
City to the
understand
ground.
that like all of these
Kiana must transfer
organizations
the
have
Honkai
their
bomb
own like
planted by World
goals to
Serpent
save
to
the
save Ark
world,
City.
but so many approaches of them
Even
are
though the
just
Herrscher
wrong.
persona and Honkai were eating her away, she did not fail Himeko. To change this imperfect world, she became the meteor that ripped Ark City's darkness open and propelled the bomb out of the atmosphere, which rewrote the cruel fate of this city.
I love that they are always like having the right background music to all of the scenes. Ah, May.
The unconscious Kiana was taken to the Schicksal North African lab by Durandal. Otto needed a Kiana who had harnessed Herrscher powers to activate the second divine key. Sick of being manipulated, she broke out from the lab and escaped Kevin's pursuit under Fuha's cover. Kiana returned to the ruins of Nagazora. She was ready to meet her end in the place where she first met everyone she cared about. She knew she had little time left as the Honkai core continued to corrupt her. To bring back Kiana, May set foot in Nagazora. Kiana had not stopped imagining how she would reunite with her friends once, but she could not seize the chance when it finally came. Honkai was growing thick in Nagazora. She had to step forward to protect the world and her friends, even if it would cost her her life. She had always been like this. She would laugh off the worst injuries. She saved the world, saved everyone, but kept the pain to herself. She was killing herself to protect the good in the world, but she had forgotten that she also meant the whole world to her loved ones. To save Kiana, May made a pact with Kevin. A new gem of conquest solidified in her body. She became the Herrscher of Thunder again and joined World Serpent by choice. May knew her best friend would never accept her choice, but she could not create a future for her dearest if she held on to her past.
Man, what an emotional recap.
After May left, Kiana and Bronya went to Mount Taishuan to find the ways of mastering Herrscher powers recorded by Fuhua, without knowing the Herrscher of Sentience had already woken.
I'm
And the
getting
illusion
so
created by the
emotional
Herrscher of
watching
Sentience,
this. This is really
Fuhua's lonely
hard.
life, bound by her mission, flashed before Kiana's eyes. Fuhua planned to sacrifice herself again to seal the Herrscher of Sentience. Kiana could not accept a fate that exchanged their
Why does this game have so many great characters? And I'm nearly on the edge of crying. It's insane.
lives for the greater good. It was Himeko's. It was May's. It was Fuhua's. It was hers once. And it was not the happiness they wanted. To end this wretched story the way they truly wanted, Kiana stopped fighting alone. She chose to believe in her friends.
That was like the moon halo scene was just so it was insane. It was so exciting, so emotional as well. And I love that we like joined forces with like the Herrscher of Sentience and also the Herrscher of Reason, right? To like gain power and yeah, protect everything that's dear to it was such a great scene.
In the theater of domination, built by the Legion Herrscher, she confronted her fate for the last time. She accepted her fate and who she was. She and the Herrscher of the Void were both continuations of Siren's persona.
True.
The Herrscher of the Void was Siren's hatred toward the world manifested. She was the other possibility, born from Siren's desire for love. The countless hearts that loved
The
and helped her made this
music. I'm
possibility a
starting to
reality,
cry. Oh.
turning her from test subject K423 into a Valkyrie who fights for all that is beautiful in the world, into Kiana Kaslana, who leads everyone forward. As for where her path leads to, we will soon find out.
I think I'm not ready to find out, man. What the hell? I'm not ready to find out, like this is such a roller coaster. Like I always thought that like Honkai is very emotional from the start, but since the start took a little bit more time to like get us into the world and before anything bad happened, but now it's just Herrscher after Herrscher after Herrscher is coming for us and we have to fight in every chapters and it's like there is one showdown after another and there is just so much character development. I think I said that at the end of chapter 25 as well. There is so much character development, especially like for Kiana. She is such a well written character. She was so childish and like annoying in the beginning. She was always like the funny, goofy girl, but she had to like face some extreme hard struggles throughout the journey so far. And it's like insane how she like developed through all of this, how much strength she gained, how much like she is not fighting alone anymore. She is such an amazing character right now, as well as the others like Fuhua and all of their backgrounds are just insane to me, and it's still insane to me that not more people take their time to like play this. I know this has no exploring like Genshin, but still for the story itself, it's really good. I'm still not doing anything major like in the game in my free time, so I don't spend too much time like farming anything or something like that. I still haven't played like the post Honkai Odyssey stuff. So I should play that as well. But the story is just so good and keeps me coming back to this game because I want to experience the great story writing. And I think more people, especially like those who are playing like Honkai Star Rail, it it is just so much more if you like play this game and play Honkai Star Rail as well because of like the connections between the two games. And yeah, it's insane. But yeah, sorry for talking too much. It took like more time to like get through this video than it actually like is. But yeah, sometimes I feel like we have to talk a little bit more about the characters and the story, and it's important for me to share my opinion on this game because I know a lot of people love this game, especially the first part. Still don't know anything about the second part, but we will get to that soon. Or maybe in a year. I don't know. But yeah, I'm still so excited to find out more and to experience more of this game. And that's why I think it's important to talk a little bit about it. That's it for this reaction. I hope you enjoyed it. We have more Honkai Impact stuff coming up, more reactions, as I said before, concept trailers. I have to watch the first concert that is also on the list between the chapters. And I think some kind of episode like the one day adventure of Seele is there as well. So yeah, stay tuned for more Honkai Impact. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.